In this video, we're going to continue our tutorial on White Christmas. This is the third installment in this tutorial series. It's an important tune, especially around Christmas time. I definitely love Christmas music. I've been playing it since I was a kid, and I love to reharmonize it. And that's really the whole point of this particular series, is learning how to reharmonize the chords that appear beneath the melody notes. Because of course, most of the sheet music that you find for things like White Christmas is not that great. And it's nice as a jazz piano player to be able to take a look at melodies and think about how the structure goes in terms of reharmonization. So we're now at the B section. It's just the first 8 bars are a repeat of the A section. And this is where it changes in the second 8 bars of the B section. So it's a little bit different than the first time around. We're going to take a look at that. The one thing that I did want to point out, and I'm going to need something to write with, so let me grab a screenshot. One of the things that I did with the recording, and I'm going to put a link to the first video up here in the corner where you can hear the full recording of this, is when I got to this section, I put a chord right here before the F major 7th chord. And the reason why I did that is because it kind of fits. So you can put a dominant chord before that, which essentially would be a C7 chord, but the tritone substitution of that is of course G flat or F sharp 7. So what I'm doing is hitting the 1 chord, which is temporarily in the key of F. So let's put, we've got a C here, and the 3rd, which is the A, and then G as well. And then in the left hand, you've got F and C. And then right before that, we're just going to play this, which is the G flat chord. So you've got G flat here, and then D flat. And then in the right hand, it's a little complicated, but basically the flat, D flat, B flat, A flat, and also E, which is way down here. So A flat, E. This. E, A flat, B flat, D flat. So okay, I just wanted to point that out because I did it in the recording and I didn't talk about it in the first couple of videos. Now we're all the way down here to the last 8 bars. When we get to the C flat 9 chord, you might want to throw something down like this. So if this is the C 13 flat 9 chord, you've got E, D flat, which is the flat 9, and then B flat, which is the 7th of the chord. And in the left hand, just have to play a C here, like this. Or you could play an A as well, which is kind of nice, here. And then again, we've had this before, we've got the C, E, and G, which is the 9th, sharp 11 and 13, and in the left hand, B flat, D, and A flat. This. Now, I'd like to point out this pedal note here, which you'll hear in a lot of jazz where you've got on 2, which is basically this note here, got G, and then all the way down to the G 8 VB. not going to write it out, but basically you're going to throw a grace note in before that, which is F sharp. 1. And of course, this is a half note. Now you've heard that before. You'll hear Oscar Peterson do that a lot, so it's important to kind of know and understand that pedal system. Just play straight triads, or I think for the F over G chord, maybe F, E, and C. And then here it's got the B natural in the melody, which is basically A flat, which is the flat 9, and then the 7th of the chord, which is F. And then of course, this is a half step above the root, which is D flat major 7th chord. You're going to find that a lot, where it's, instead of just going right to 1, it's like a half step above. Instead of. And it really is just a jazz thing. I'm not exactly sure where it came from, but it just sounds good to go a half step above and then resolve. But basically, you want to, because the melody note is so low, you just want to keep the voicing fairly simple. So just play F, which is the 3rd of the chord, and in the bass, you've got D flat and E flat, A flat, sorry. Makes a nice voicing. Might want to practice that in different keys. And this is where you can fill. So this is an important part where, as a piano player, you're kind of filling in where the melody is not really happening. It's just, you've got a C in the melody. Let's take that out, and we'll play D flat all the way through till it resolves to the top of the tune, which is C. Now, it really depends on how you play that, but what I would suggest maybe is think about force. So, something like that. Right. So then, obviously what we have here is an A-B-A-C tune, where the 2 A sections are the same, and the difference of the last 8 bars of each section is just a little bit different. So not that big a deal. But from a soloing perspective, obviously we're in the key of C. And I think we definitely need a whole other video on how to solo on this, because we don't have enough time left in this one. But what we can do is start really thinking about blues a little bit. Okay, so, it lends itself really well to soloing, and I think we're gonna need another video on how to actually go about that. So let's leave it for the next video. My name is Paul Tobey. Thanks a lot for your time. If you want to make a comment or two below, that would be awesome because YouTube loves it when you make comments. It helps the algo and helps this video rank and get found a little bit more, because I think there's some pretty good stuff in here to help you as a jazz player. Also, if you want to subscribe to the channel while you're here, lots of videos like this one. Thanks a lot for your time.